Hello, Don Hall at Don Hall Works, and in this video I'm going to make a mosaic, a large one, about 2 feet wide, about 14 feet tall, and I'm going to make tiles that I'm going to install in my mosaic, and it's going to all be animals. They're going to be painted, they're going to be all different colors. I'm going to take you through the whole process from beginning to end. This video is probably going to take several weeks, maybe even a month to complete this project, but I'm going to take you through it step by step, and it won't take you that long to watch the process, I promise. All right, to begin this, we need to make some slabs to cut out our tiles, and I'm going to use all recycled clay in this project, so it may end up being a bunch of different colors, but I don't care. I don't think it's going to matter to the mural at all. I want to have a texture on the back of my tiles so that the tiles themselves will actually stick better to the wall. So I put that old piece of burlap on there to make it textured on one side. Alright, so here's the back of what's going to be the tiles. I'm going to flip it over so that I can transport it over to my workbench and cut out some tiles. Here's the business side of the clay that I'm going to decorate for the tiles. The way I do this is I have lots of these stencils that I made for projects in the past, and I'm going to use those to create my tiles. Basically what I do is I'll just put the stencil down to know how big to make the tile. Use my handy square here to get it semi-straight. That's all I'm going to do with this for now. I'm going to put this aside and let it dry out a bit, and then I'm going to trace around it. I'll show you. What I do simply is I use my needle tool and I trace around the edge of the figure, and it gives me just enough of a line there so that when I paint it, I know where to go. It just saves me a little time. Now that I have the line to follow, I'm going to paint on 3 coats of velvet underglaze. Here's all the tiles. They're in the kiln, getting ready to bisque. I stacked them up this way. I thought they'd less likely to crack if they weren't piled one on top of each other. Alright, so I'm glazing on some 06 brushing glaze, loading them up in the kiln for the glaze fire. Okay, here I am at Coil Kilns, getting ready, brought up all my tiles. I'm getting ready to stick them on the column in the Coil Kilns' new classroom. So here's the column. Goes way up like that, and I know it's 19 inches wide, but I'm not sure exactly how tall it is, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Here's all my tiles that I fired, and I'm going to lay out 5 feet worth of tile on this table that I'd marked off at 19 inches wide. And I'm trying to figure out exactly where the tiles will fit together nicely. I'm using this tile mortar mixture. It just mixes up with water. I got it in this pan here. I'm going to pick up the pan and spread a little bit onto the wall. The compound, it's mortar cement. I just apply a very, very thin coat onto the wall. Then I put another very, very thin coat on the back of the tile. Make sure I got it going the right way and affix it in place. I'm using a little piece of cardboard here to keep it so it's not touching the one below. And basically I just do this and repeat till I get to the top. So once it's all the way to the top, I'm going to wait a day or two, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put grout in between the tiles. All right, almost to the top, only got a few more to go. All right, I'm started grouting. I've got to about this far up the wall. I'm going to demonstrate for you how I do this grouting part. And what I do, I start out with just putting some water in my pan here and putting some grout in. This takes a bit, so I'm going to just take some time now and stir this up, get it ready to apply to the wall. All right, so I mixed up the grout here, and I'm going to apply it. Before I do, I have to make a disclaimer. This is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm sure there's other ways, probably more efficient ways. This is just the way I'm going to do it. So far, it's been working. So what I try to do is get a little bit right on the end of my knife and install it right where it needs to go. I try not to have it go over too many. Oops. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to just put some in about this much just to demonstrate it for you. I'm going to wipe it back a little bit. Professional tile setters, please forgive me. All right, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to wipe it down with a wet towel and get more of that grout off of there. Maybe some. Here's the column, all grouted, washed off. It may still need a little bit more wiping down, but basically that's what we got.